Welcome.
Welcome.
Thank you for coming back and joining us again here today at Weird Games with Papa Weird.
And Weirdling.
Very good. On to it. All right. We have Gus and Lob back again. We're very pleased to meet you again for the episode. All right. Gus is very quiet. All right. He's the silent, quiet, dark, handsome type. All right. Okay. Okay. Where are we today? We are doing the last two rooms, all right, of the month. Today's the end of the month. Tomorrow we're going to start afresh. We'll be out here, right? So we're doing the
Hag House next month.
well, the deep caves, right? Yeah, and we'll put some hags in there somewhere. We're going to go a whole heap more random than what we've done here. You know, we've been very planned and meticulous and guided the entire way through, and I think it's time to embrace some more a little bit more randomness there, right? So anyway,
Me, I'll probably just roll 6 treasure.
yeah, sure, we will limit the amount of opportunities for full plate mail out there. All right. Okay, as you can see, I've left it very much open. I have put in cave giant here as an idea for going in somewhere later. It was a very good idea. We have to wait till it's a bit more appropriate, and because the ones I saw online were like CR7s and 8s, which could be a rather tough encounter for people that are level 5s and 6s, right? So
I mean, by here they're like level. Take on CR7.
that's right. They could. I mean, but take, or if we're talking about, you know, putting a saddle on it, they want to subjugate it, capture it, make a friend of it, ally with, right? We'll see. We'll see what happens.
The cave giant.
I'm not going to say they have to. I think it was a great idea. Cave giants are a large creature. Saddle can fit on a large creature. That's what horses are, right? So, and you need to be a size larger to be ridden, you know, right?
Ride the sheepies. Battle.
If you are a halfling, you could, or a gnome, or something like that. Goblin, sure. Don't think dwarves count. I think they're considered medium, not small. And they certainly
Dwarves were only like 4 feet tall.
Yeah, but they're stocky. They're considered the bigger size because of the amount of mass they take up. It's not just like so if a halfling is like this tall, then a dwarf is this tall, but probably about twice as thick and just all mass, right? Whether that mass is muscle or beer is disputed, all right? But anyway, last two rooms. Let's get into it. Let's do this thing, all right? Get yourself a pencil. Find yourself a Darth Vader. Alright. I have written up the... Oh, we have to show off our past work. Alright, look at this. Okay. So, this was the cast-off room where we did the... Put some stuff in there as signaling about the scorpions, right? Some dung, some bones, some casts-offs, right? This passageway here leads off into the T sort of corridor that's going into next month. This be next month, all right? This is literally tomorrow's work right there, all right? This here was the entranceway that we did in towards where the Hadozee hideaway little homestead area is. This is where they put in some very crude traps, sort of like a spiky barricade pit that considered like a very hard difficulty sort of obstacle, right? Difficult terrain. And we also have that little arrow trap there. That's just a one-shot arrow, right? For the first person who accidentally stands on the trap on the plate. We have lots of mushrooms that provide glow and light over this area that we decided can be eaten, right? So we have that. Some moss growing along this side wall, all right? Which leads into what I tried to color in. I was playing with...
They can kind of see it.
Yeah, sure. All right. So I tried to play with some different colors here. It's probably going to show up better on the scans that go into the webs, right? This one was like brown pencils, and it looked very messy, so I had to go over it with black pencil to even get some definition out of it. This one I tried to color in the triangle parts with the HB pencil, and it didn't really stand out, and I still had to come over it with a black pencil. This one, the third one, was just all done with black pencil and brown pencil, and I think it stands out a lot better. I think it looks a lot clearer. This one just looks very messy. Um,
So does
yeah, the mushrooms here. The pencil work didn't come out as bright as I would have liked it to and vibrant, but that's because it's not done in pen. Um, you know, if I did pen work, the other problem was that when I was coloring and everything, I started putting all of my lines over. Like when you stencil, you know, you color across and then the design on the other page carries it over. So I've had a lot of mess that I've had to like rub away here. So what I'm saying is this will probably be the last time that I actually color in anything in the book. It was an interesting experience, but it didn't turn out the way I wanted it to. Anyway, we'll move on. Let's do today's stuff. All right, where are we? Bring back our friends, all right? Bring back our friends. Okay, mascots, treat them nicely, please. All right, stand up over here, Gus. All right, be well behaved. Okay, Lob can stand here. All right, so this room here is where we're putting the sheep. All right, this is what they're using to trade with, and they're also using for their fleece and skins when they are perished, to have you know, line their little houses with over here. So they have a place for drying out their skins and place for doing their fleece shearing and cleaning. Right, so they're self-sufficient. This little room here, I was thinking at the bottom, for them to have in, I suppose, are we going to draw a shape? Do we need a shape?
Let's do a shape.
Oh, we want a shape. We need a map generator. You need a dice. All right, I put the dice away and tidy up since last time. Okay, find a dice there.
What was it? D10 and D6?
Yeah, D10s and T10s and D6s. All right. So we are going to have an entrance. All right, where are we at? We are going to have an entrance covered in mushrooms. All right. Okay, you ready? You got your dice rolls? All right, so what are we rolling? D10 first.
9.
Trapezoid. Oh, this is one of the interesting rooms. So it makes fun.
Triangle.
Sorry? 9. Oh, 9. Triangle. You're right. I thought that was a 9, 10. My bad.
1d6?
1d6 per side.
Oh.
So it's an equilateral triangle, obviously. Yeah. 2. It's still a 2. All right. So it's a very tiny room. All right. So we're thinking about that big there. Okay. Bring it back across. At the back, I was thinking that we're going to have a water, like a natural water feature.
How
All
many
right.
people are in there? 1d?
No, that's too many. We can't have D20. They're not going to fit all in this tiny room.
Let's make the room bigger.
No, well, we can put sheep in the other room too, right? We're going to have another little room off to the end here. We could put some sheep over there.
1d6?
A D6 plus 1 sheep in here.
No, a d6 onto the room.
Sure. We've already done that.
You only use 2.
Well, that one there is a little bit longer. They're not exactly. And this one definitely is longer than 2 plus 1, right?
Sure.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
You're criticizing my triangle. Just look, I'm going to put some curves on it, all right? Criticize my triangle. Look, it looks more like a beaker now, all right? It's a scientific beaker.
A d6
Okay.
plus 1 sheep.
Sure. That could end up with a lot of sheep in here, but all right. So 4 sheepy. All right. So they live in here as sheepy do. All right. And they've got a little corral area. Okay. They got fresh water here. There's going to be lots of mushrooms again. Lots of mushrooms.
Sheep are probably glowing.
The sheep will be glowing because they eat mushrooms and the moss. There's going to be lots of moss on the side here. So we're going to have mushies, moss, sheep, and water. Oh my. We need to add anything else? This is going to be a very quick room, right? We don't have to add much.
No.
It means I'm going to have to draw a lot of things in here later on. I don't know how I'm going to draw a sheepy. That's a question for you.
Just
How do you draw a sheep?
Top-down view.
I've been doing that the whole way. Look, I'm just going to draw it as a little cloud with a head and some ears, wingnut ears. Is that a sheepy?
Yes.
Do they? Oh, they got a tail. They got a tail, right? A little bobtail or whatever.
Yeah.
Sure. There we go. That's a sheepy. Okay, and we have Lob's falling. Lob's keying for it.
Let's
All
bring
right.
it up to the.
Oh, you want to write it in the key? All right. Oh, you're bringing it up. Oh, you're showing off my sheepy. All right, great. I feel like a real artiste. Okay. Put this one away. We don't need
I
that.
can't believe we're more than halfway through the book already.
Well, we're well and truly past the book, but yeah, getting to this one here. What is this? Day 59 we're at now. That's quite a long time. Do you think we'd last all the way through?
Probably.
All right.
We're like, what's 6?
We're about 1/5 of the way through, I think, right? 1/6 of the way through or something like that.
We're 1/6 of the way through.
Yeah, 1/6 of the way through.
Approximately.
But so we're gonna have to finish this book and then probably go on to at least, like I said, what, another 2, 3 books at least, right?
No. 4 books. At least.
Well, in the entire, yeah, sure.
Series.
All right. We're gonna call it a series now. All right. Okay. So.
I mean, you put episodes in.
Yeah, sure. I think what we will have to do is one day consolidate it all to. Let's come in for a little round chat. All right. Over here by the sheep, right in the watering hole. I think what we're gonna have to do one day is put all of these like maps and everything, and then have links to the videos in one page somewhere. I don't know. I've looked around. It's a next layer of work to do. We've had a lot on. We're also gonna move. There you go. Spoilers. We have to move house soon.
So we're gonna have to like maybe be on a hiatus for like a month, 2 months.
Well, maybe I don't know. What we'll keep doing this. And if we can get to doing some recording, we will. But we'll continue the book, obviously, and going along with it. We can do that. But the entire studio, right? The studio setting will have to be dismantled and changed and reassembled somewhere. And we're not sure what any of that looks like just yet. So we'll see how long we can get before we have to pack all this down and have a last episode, right?
For a while.
For a little while. But yeah, hopefully we can get at least a week or so out of this before we have to start packing down.
We're gonna do
at least a week or so. Sure. All right. Anyway, so that's where that is. Let's move on. Are you ready to go to the next page?
Yes.
Very good. Let us go to the next page. Okay, here we are, the T junction. Oh no, this is the room before the T junction, actually. Just cross it out or whatever. I'll rub it out nicely. Okay.
I wasn't gonna cross it out.
No.
I was gonna write room before.
Oh, but yeah, we haven't got enough room for that. I'm trying to write into my boxes, alright? I've got a whole aesthetic here. Okay. Don't mess with my aesthetic.
Boxes each book?
Maybe, the shape?
Yeah.
Oh, well, we could probably do that if you'd like to. Alright. Okay, let's do that. So this is actually the chamber that remember how if we're coming around the other side and they've gone past the scorpions first, and then they've got into that passage and there's a T-junction off it, right? And they can go further in.
Mushrooms.
We want some mushrooms in this one, but are we doing the same?
Like mushrooms going out into the corridor?
Yes, like this, right? Like this room.
Yeah.
So are we going to mirror this room on the other side then?
Yes.
That would make sense?
Yes.
Okay. Well, that's going to be easy. Are we going to roll the shape of the room? Yes, roll the shape. So it's not exactly the same. All right.
But it's not going to be like a triangle.
Well, I don't know. It could be. The point is that whatever we get dealt, we will endeavor to replicate the mushroom and moss aesthetic, and we'll also do a couple of crude small traps. All right. Are you throwing the dice away already?
No, I have to drop the pencil.
Throwing the pencil away. What do we got? That's a 10. That's a trapezoid.
A trapezoidal shape.
Alright, sure.
You want me to roll a rectangle for this trapezoid?
Well, so the room is coming in off the top here.
You need to tell me what to roll.
A D6s, right?
Yeah, how many D6?
A D6 for how high it is. Alright, so we're coming in off this one room here, off the side. Okay. Mushrooms everywhere.
It's 6 high.
Alright, mushrooms everywhere. So 6 high. It's quite a big room. Alright. Okay, so we'll come down here. How wide?
4 wide.
Let me see. Base is 4 wide. All right. Okay. Now this other one at the top here. How long is it? Two. All right. So it's very short there, and it will come in and come out on the other end there. What do you think?
Yep.
Look like see that over here? Look like a trapezoid? A bit. All right.
Except it just has.
So we're gonna have mushrooms along here, right? Lots of mushrooms still. Okay. All right. All right. I wonder, are we going to make these mushrooms appear later on? They are very good for natural lighting sources, and they could be something we could use later on. But we could also have a different mushroom somewhere that is highly poisonous, that looks very similar to these ones, and they get used to eating these ones. The other ones, the normal ones, but the new ones will poison them somewhere down the line. You have to just think of a way to make them similar enough, but look a little bit different.
Like
they give off a different glow, or these ones have a smell where the other ones didn't have a smell to them.
Those ones would probably be like dimmer, like
maybe. Yeah, like the light is different, sure. Maybe these ones don't give off any light at all. They look very much the same, but these ones don't have any light at all.
No, it gives off like a tiny bit of light.
Sure, so something like that. We'll have to make it so that there's enough distinction in them that they are different.
But what's the shelf life for these mushrooms?
Well, mushrooms last for quite a long time because you can dry them, right? You can preserve them and stuff like that.
They would still have the glowiness.
And maybe it would fade a little bit, like it'd be like in a jar and stuff like that, but it would glow a little bit. And then if you ate it, you'd have some effect, but the effect would be diminished because that's what happens when you dry stuff. And over time, dried things do lose their potency, right? There is a freshness in the way you dry things and preserve it and package it. Okay?
But what if you just took a chunk off the wall and then like put it in a pot plant and then put it in a lamp?
Well, you could probably do that. There's no reason why you can't do that. All right, that way
light.
Sure.
Big brain.
Well, like I said, it would diminish over time. Once you cut it away.
If you like watered it and stuff.
Oh, you mean like you actually made a little terrarium? Like you actually made a little environment lamp with glow mushrooms in it?
Yeah.
Sure. All right. That's a very druid ranger kind of thing to do. All right. Cleric of nature. I don't know. Sure. Let me see. That's not what Gus does though, right?
No.
Gus isn't like
that. He's a blood hunter.
Okay, he's a blood hunter. All right. He'd probably eat the mushrooms though, right? Is he into tasty mushrooms? All right. We've dealt with this mushroom story so very, very long. Okay, so we have a trapezoid here. We have mushrooms. We have another little trap, right?
Going out of the
simple arrow trap. Simple arrow trap, and it is the same as on what's that page? What was that page? This page. Room 56. All right.
Same as on the page of room 56.
At room 56. Okay. So we have a simple arrow trap.
Like the mushrooms like going a bit out of this room and going a bit into the,
Okay.
To the
so they glow the simple spike pit as well from the same room, all right? On the other side, they're very simple. They've got rows of spike pits 2 foot deep, dug in with sticks coming out of them, pointing outwards on both ends of their passageway, right? When it opens up into the chamber. Maybe covered up. I'm not sure. That's what it's a very simple DC for that one, right? We did put a DC in here. They're only 16 to perceive. They're not very difficult. Like they haven't been obscured very very well, right? Okay. So we have that same spike pit. We have the same arrows on the other side of the room. There's lots of mushrooms in here. There's some moss is sort of still growing up that other side of the room here. And you want the mushrooms to go all the way to the end. Okay. There's lots of mushrooms in here.
There's a bit of a glow.
There's a big mushroom patch. So this is a mushroom patch room.
Yeah.
All right. Sure.
And there's like a glow in the junction, and then they see like some mushrooms, and they might want to explore that way.
My pencil's feeling very blunt. All right. Fix this. We do not like blunt pencils. Okay. So these mushrooms continue off down the hallway, right? Off past this trap. They give off a lot of light in here, all right? So this is the mushroom room. The mushroom room. Oh, look at that. It just broke on me. Anyway.
You just called it the mushroom.
And moss. Plus moss. Alright.
You're not drawing in your line.
I know. I just said that before. Look, I'm going to do a little dotted line, alright, as a little drawing.
Now everybody's going to think that's a cutout.
Alright. Here we go. So
I think that's
this is a very simple room. Do we want to do? You had Hadozee fur and stuff in there, but you could argue that that was relative to the scorpions encounter in that room, right?
Yeah.
So they haven't had any encounter here.
just like
Okay.
footprints.
Footprints. Oh, very good. All right.
Because they were running away from, like, you know, the
Sure. Well, no, they
cabin.
use this area, and they're not too worried about covering up their footprints, right? That's a very, very smart thing to signal. All right. Here be, here be Hadozee footprints. Yar.
And then, like, if there's a druid that knows, like, astral
Or a
physics
ranger.
or
Oh,
something,
wow, yeah. I mean, I'm not sure. They would look like animal paws, but they would not be
They would
walking
look
in
like
like
monk-
sets of fours. They would
They'd
look
be-
like long, elongated fingers, right? Like skinnier hands, but they had to have toes that can grip things. And there wouldn't be like four as if they were walking like on all fours. Yeah, yeah, they'd be bipedal, so you'd have more. Yeah, because yeah, they'd be bipedal, so you'd have more. Yeah, humanoid footprints. So so a smart ranger or druid, sure, should be able to
Would
figure out
they
that
look
it's
like
something like
monkey
that.
people?
Monkey people, monkey people. All right, so the Hadozees have left some sign of their life. We got lots and lots of mushrooms in this room. Probably water dripping from the walls. All right,
Moist.
because we've got lots of we've got this whole sort of
this
like
whole bit
area
is
here,
This whole
these-
area is gonna be like just moist.
quite moist. All right. Water dripping from walls, simple arrow trap and a spike pit. We got some of their footprints,
Just
you
a
know.
reminder: don't
and-
kill the Hadozee.
Sure, we've written that enough here. Look at this. You even wrote. I didn't even notice. You wrote it extra there. Don't kill. All right. Okay, so we have a little room for their sheepy. Okay, and a watering billabong with more mushrooms and moss. More mushrooms and moss. I feel like I'm going crazy having said those words so many times this week. And
I
a
think
couple of
that's
traps.
it for
Sure,
today.
I think that's it. We don't need to carry on any longer, do we?
See you next time.
Thank you for sticking around. Do the thing. Comments below. Thanks for checking it out.
We'll see you next time.
See you then. Keep it real.